Hi, welcome to the Tristan channel. Today I'll be going over some occult elements of Doctor Strange. As you saw in Doctor Strange, many famous grimoires and names pop up, such as the Keys of Solomon, the Grimoire Verum, and the Book of Cagliostro. All these are based on real books and real people. And today I'm going over Cagliostro. So who was he? Now, I apologise in advance because I thought I already did a video on him, but I didn't, as it turns out. So now I'm going to, because I mentioned in the one about did a bit of that Grimoire Verum that I did. So let's begin. The history of Cagliostro is shrouded in rumour, propaganda, and mysticism. Some effort was expended to ascertain his true identity when he was arrested because of possible participation in the affair of the diamond necklace. Johann Wolfgang von Gautier relates in his Italian journey that the identification of Cagliostro with Giuseppe Balsamo was ascertained by a lawyer from Palermo, so that's it, who upon official request had sent a dossier with copies of the pertinent documents to France. Gautier met the lawyer in April 1787 and saw the documents and Balsamo's pedigree. Balsamo's great-grandmother, Matteo Martello, had two daughters, Maria, who married Giuseppe Bacciarona, I'm going to butcher some of his names, and Vicenza, who married Giuseppe Cagliostro. Maria and Giuseppe Bacciaroni had three children, Matteo, Antonio, and Felicia, who married Pietro Balsamo, the son of a bookseller, Antonio Balsamo, who had declared bankruptcy before dying at age 44. The son of Felicity and Pietro Balsamo was Giuseppe, who was christened with the name of his great uncle and eventually adopted his surname too. Felicity, I'm going to call it Felicity, it's anglicised it. Felicity Balsamo was still alive in Palermo at the time of Gautier's travels in Italy, and he visited her and her daughter. I apologise, I'm not good at Italiano. Gautier wrote that Cagliostro was of Jewish origin, and it may be that the name Balsamo comes from the Hebrew Baal Shem. Cagliostro himself publicly ascertained that he was a disciple of Ham Folk, the Baal Shem of London. Cagliostro himself stated that during a trial following the affair of the diamond necklace that he had been born of Christians of noble birth, but abandoned as an orphan upon the island of Malta. He claimed to have travelled as a child to Medea, Mecca, and Cairo, and upon return to Malta, to have been admitted to the sovereign military order of Malta, with whom he studied alchemy, the Kabbalah, and magic. Oh, incidentally, green lights to match time stone. Giuseppe Balsamo was born to a poor family in Albigeria, which was once the old Jewish quarter of Palermo, Sicily. Despite his family's precarious financial situation, his grandfather and his uncles made sure the young Giuseppe received a solid education. He was taught by a tutor, and later became a novice in the Catholic Order of St. John of God, from which he was eventually expelled. In early 1768, Balsamo left for Rome, where he managed to land himself a job as a secretary to Cardinal Orsini. The job proved boring to Balsamo, and he soon started leading a double life, selling magical Egyptian quotation marks amulets and engravings pasted on boards and painted over to look like paintings. Of the many Sicilian expatriates and ex-convicts he met during this period, one introduced him to a 17-year-old girl named Lorenza Serafina Felicianzi, circa April 1751 to 1794, known as Serafina, whom he married in 1768. The couple moved in with Lorenzia's parents and her brother in Vicciolo delle Clitte, adjacent to the Strada dei Pellegrini. Balsamo's coarse language and the way he incited Lorenza to display her body contrasted deeply with her parents' deep-rooted religious beliefs. After a heated discussion, the young couple left. At this point, Balsamo befriended Aligata, a forger, a swindler, who proposed to teach Balsamo how to forge letters, diplomas, and myriad other official documents. In return, though, Agalatia sought sexual intercourse with Balsamo's young wife, a request to which Balsamo acquiesced. The couple travelled together to London, where Balsamo, now styling himself with one of the several pseudonyms and self-conferred titles before settling on Count Alessandro di Cagliostro, allegedly met the Comte de Saint-Germain. Cagliostro travelled throughout Europe, especially to Courland, Russia, Poland, Germany, and later France. His fame grew to the point that he was even recommended as a physician to Benjamin Franklin during a stay in Paris. On April 12, 1777, Joseph Cagliostro was admitted as a Freemason of the Esperance Lodge number 289 in Gerrard Street, Soho, London. In December 1777, Cagliostro and Serafina left London for the mainland, after which they travelled through various German states, visiting lodges of the rite of strict observance, looking for cohorts to Cagliostro's Egyptian Freemasonry. In February 1779, Cagliostro travelled to Mitau, where he met the poetess Alicia von der Reck. In September 1780, after failing in St. Petersburg to win the patronage of Russian Tsar Catherine the Great, and Cagliostros made their way to Strasbourg, at that time in France. In October 1784, the Cagliostros travelled to Lyon. On 24th December 1784, they founded the co-Masonic Mother Lodge Le Sagies, triumph of his rite of Egyptian Freemasonry, at Lyon in January 1785. Cagliostro and his wife went to Paris in response to the entreaties of Cardinal Rohan. During his period as a novice in the order, Balsamo learned chemistry as well as a series of spiritual rites. In 1764, when he was 21, he convinced Vincenzo Marano, a wealthy goldsmith, of the existence of a hidden treasure buried several hundred years previously at Mount Pellegrino. The young man's knowledge of the occult, Marano reasoned, would be valuable in preventing the duo from being attacked by magical creatures guarding the treasure. In preparation for the expedition to Mount Pellegrino. However, Balsamo requested 70 pieces of silver from Morano. When the time came for the two to dig up the supposed treasure, Balsamo attacked Morano, who was left bleeding and wondering what had happened to the boy in his mind. The beating he had been subjected to had been the work of jinns. The next day, Morano paid a visit to Balsamo's house in Via Pacciatea, since then renamed Via Conte di Cagliostro, where he learned the young man had left the city. Balsamo, accompanied by two accomplices, had fled to the city of Messina. By 1765-66, Balsamo found himself on the island of Malta, where he became an auxiliary for the Sovereign Military Order of Malta and a skilled pharmacist. Now, concerning the affair of the diamond necklace, Cagliostro was prosecuted in the affair, which involved Marie Antoinette and Prince Louis de Rohan, and was held in the Bastille for 9 months, but finally acquitted when no evidence could be found connecting him to the said affair. Nonetheless, he was banished from France by the order of Louis XVI and departed for England. There he was accused by French expiat Ferdinand de Morande of being Giepsky Balsamo, which he denied in his published open letter to the English people, forcing a retraction and apology from Morande. Cagliostro left England to visit Rome, where he met two people who proved to be spies of the Inquisition. Some accounts hold that his wife was the one who initially betrayed him to the Inquisition. On the 27th of December 1789, he was arrested and imprisoned in the Castel Sant'Angelo. He was tried and originally sentenced to death, but the sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment at the Fort di San Leo, where he would die on the 26th of August 1795. Portuguese author Camilo Castelo Branco credits to Balsamo the creation of the Egyptian rite of the Freemasons and intensive work in the diffusion of Freemasonry by opening up lodges all over Europe and by introducing the acceptance of women in the community. The idea of an Egyptian Freemasonry was maintained in Italy by the Rite of Misraim, founded in 1813 by the three Jewish Berardi brothers, and in France butchered that. In the Rites of Memphis, founded in 1838 by Jacques Etienne Macronis de Nigeria. These unified under Giepsky Garibaldi as the ancient and primitive rite of Memphis Mithran in 1881. Cagliostro was an extraordinary forger. Giacomo Casanova, in his autobiography, narrated an encounter in which Cagliostro was able to forge a letter by Casanova despite being unable to understand it. Occult historian Lewis Spence comments in his entry on Cagliostro that the swindler put his finangled wealth to good use by starting and funding a chain of maternity hospitals and orphanages around the continent. He carried an alchemist manuscript, the Most Holy Trino Sophia, amongst others, with him on his ill-fated journey to Rome, and it is alleged that he wrote it. Occultist Aleister Crowley believed Cagliostro was one of his previous incarnations. Now, how does this connect to Doctor Strange? Well, not just the name, but there are many occult and Lovecraftian influences in the Doctor Strange comics. Some demons and deities are based on real-world mythologies and the Lovecraft mythology. So there you have it. I apologise for my bad pronunciations there on some of those words. A short informative video on Cagliostro and Doctor Strange, who was mentioned in Doctor Strange. You can get his writings online, like Amazon, etc. And if you like this video, hit the like, and if you haven't, then please show support by subscribing to this channel and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any notifications. Until next time, folks, and see you in the next video. Take care, be well, have a good week.